Hi, shalom, friends. Did you ever hear the word Gaon? Gaon sometimes is translated as genius, but actually means excellence. And there was one rabbi who was known as a Gaon. He was proficient in the entire Babylonian Talmud. He was an expert in jurisprudence of the Middle Ages, and he seemed to know everything about everything. And they once asked him, a scholar of your repute and of your caliber, how long does it take to produce a person like yourself? He said 5 minutes. Of course, his reputation was that he spent between 8 and 12 hours daily in intensive study. 5 minutes? How could it be 5 minutes? He said, I'll tell you. He says, I'm a prominent rabbi, so I'm always invited to a bar mitzvah and to a wedding, and many times there's a delay. And I ask, what's the delay? Oh, he's delayed. He'll be here in 5 minutes. So in 5 minutes, I take out a book. I have a small book of Talmud, and I study. If you're waiting on the bus and you have to wait 5 minutes, I take out the book and I study. If I'm by a wedding and there's a slight delay, 5 minutes, I study. And you should know that I've gone through the Talmud 1.5 times from those 5 minutes. Now, obviously, it takes years, obviously months, days, and hours of intensive study to be a Gaon, a genius, or an excellence. But the rabbi's insight is amazing. If we collected the 5 minutes that are scattered throughout the day, and then we multiply that by the weeks and the months and eventually the years, we actually, a sizable amount of time, a great chunk of time is available to us. Some of you might have heard of this famous demonstration. I believe it was from Stephen Covey, and he was talking about time management. He was talking to a group of CEOs and very, very, very busy people. And they wanted to manage time. So in one of his demonstrations, he brings in a box, and he takes out a brick or a large stone, and he puts it in the box, and there's only room for 3 of these, let's call it bricks. Calls up the people, is there any more room? They look, no. Can we put anything else in this box? No, well, it's obvious you can't put anything else in the box. It's filled with three bricks. Then he takes out a packet of pebbles, and he starts pouring in the pebbles on either side of the bricks. He said, you told me you couldn't put anything inside of this box because it was filled, but look, we just now put in pebbles. They said, oh, yeah, you're right. We didn't pay attention to the signs. So he says, okay, can we put anything else in the box? And they're looking. There's bricks in the middle, and on a 1/4 inch on either side is filled with pebbles. No, you can't. Then he takes another packet of sand. He pours the sand into the box, juggles it a little bit, and suddenly the sand is absorbed. He said, wait, hold it. You just now told me that there's no room for anything. He said, well, okay. He said, now is there room for anything? So they're looking, maybe there's a catch. There's a brick, there's the pebbles, and there's sand. No, there's absolutely, you say, are you sure? Absolutely no room. Takes a jug of water and he pours it on. You just now said nothing can fit in. We just put in water. This demonstration was very famous and it's very powerful. I have no time. Really? No time? There's an adage, if you want something to be done, give it to a busy person. Busy people find time to accomplish things. If you're looking for the person who has plenty of time to do your project, chances are you'll be deeply disappointed. Busy people find time. Now, how can we translate this? Well, for one thing, if we start off with the idea of studying of Torah, there's always time to study Torah. So if you're waiting for the bus, why just mill about? If you're waiting for your child to come into the car so you could drive him to school, why just listen to the host on the radio? There's always minutes. In fact, more than minutes. But I would like to bring it down not only in terms of acquiring knowledge, and in this case, Torah knowledge, but even in terms of relationships. So you ask a husband, you're deeply devoted to your wife, and when was the last time you made her feel like $1 million? He says, well, I just don't have the time, but I already told her that in 2 months from now we're going on vacation. Does that truly mean that you have no time? You can't make a phone call in the middle of the day and just to say, hi honey, I love you? Is it that impossible to be creative and think of, maybe I should order a meal, have it delivered to the house so she doesn't have to cook? How long does that take? 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes? You don't need to fill with a brick. You can fill with a pebble. If there's no time for a pebble, there's certainly time for water and for sand. The same thing works with, I have no time for my kids. Well, why don't you do homework with them? I'm too tired, too stressed out. I come home too late. Okay. When do you see your children? Well, I don't know. I start early. I drive them to school and I go to work. Okay, what do you do in the car? Well, I listen to the radio. You have 5 minutes. Quality time. You could sing with your kids. You could tell a joke with your kids. You could have them tell you something. It's bonding time. As a matter of fact, I'll give you even a little suggestion. Why not have treats in your car, and every once in a while, before they leave to school, just give them a kiss and a treat and say, I'm proud of you. You're doing your job. You don't need a gigantic block of time. You have to understand opportunities. And I could go on and on, but I'm sure you're wise enough to understand that if you just looked at your busy day, you could find those 5 minutes or less that can actually change your life for the better. So let's summarize. 5 minutes a day can make you into a scholar. 5 minutes a day can make you into a better husband, a better wife, a more loving parent. 5 minutes a day can make you into a mensch. So I challenge you, if you're going for a walk or something like that, on the clock for 5 minutes, when you're walking, nod to people, and if it's not too dangerous, wish them a good morning. Just 5 minutes. 5 minutes a day in acknowledging a human being in a pleasant form will do wonders for you, and it will change the world, because they will go to work or they will go to whatever they're doing with a pleasant feeling that there are human beings, fellow human beings on this world, and they acknowledged me. That's all you need. 5 minutes a day. Well, if I gave you the secret of 5 minutes, I want to tell you another secret. You don't need 5 minutes. The Holy Rambam writes that one good deed and one good action and even one thought can change the destiny of the universe. Could you imagine if you actually spent a whole 60 seconds just thinking about a person and in your mind sending them a blessing? Send them good wishes. Think positive. 60 seconds, think about how fortunate you are to have the people around you. You don't need 5 minutes. 60 seconds, you don't have time? Who doesn't have 60 seconds? How long will it take to bring the Messiah? Well, we've been waiting for a very long time. We have no more time to wait for him. That's true. So what are we doing to bring him? 60 seconds or less, do a mitzvah. Put a coin in the charity box, write a check to, call up and say hello, show respect to your parents. Doesn't take long. one mitzvah, one good deed, one act of kindness and generosity, and we're going to be living in a much better world. Shalom.